Om. The Light of Truth, Part 17, Chapter-10, Desirable and Undesirable Conduct, Permissible and Forbidden Food. People should always bear in mind that whatsoever is done by learned men who are free from inordinate affection and hatred, or whatsoever is known to be true by the testimony of the inner monitor, is the true conduct of life. Manu. In this world, neither inordinate desire nor its total absence is conducive to a man's happiness, because it would be impossible either to lead a virtuous life as enjoined by the Veda, or to acquire true knowledge without desiring the same. Manu. It is impossible for any man to be altogether free from desire, because all our actions, philanthropic works, truthfulness in speech, the practice of yamas and niyamas proceed from desire for the same. Even the most insignificant action in this world is impossible without a desire on the part of the doer. Therefore, whatever a man does, for example, the movements of his hand, feet, eyes, is the outcome of his will. Manusmriti. Let a man, therefore, carefully view all these, the Veda, the teachings of the Vedic seers, practices of good men, the approval of his own soul, with the eyes of wisdom, and do his duty in obedience to what is sanctioned by the Veda and approved by his own soul. Manusmriti. Therefore, the Veda, the Smriti, the practice of good men, and the approval of one's soul, these are undoubtedly the four criteria of the true conduct of life. In other words, it is by these alone that the true religion is ascertained. Manusmriti. As a skillful driver keeps his horses well under control and directs them in the right path, so should a man strive to keep his senses, that are apt to lead one's mind to the pursuit of wicked objects and temptations, under thorough control, restrain them from the path of sin and temptation, and always guide them in the path of righteousness. This alone is the true conduct of life. Manu. Let a wise man never speak unless spoken to, nor answer a question when unjustly and hypocritically asked. Among hypocrites, let him remain as if he were dumb, but to the honest truth seeker, let him preach even though unasked. Manusmriti. A man does not become old by years, nor by grey hair, nor by wealth, nor by powerful kindreds and friends. The wise and holy sages have declared, he among us is old, that is great, who is most learned in knowledge, material and spiritual. Manu. As an elephant made of wood, or as a deer made of leather, so is a man destitute of knowledge. He is a man only in name. Manusmriti. The ancient Indians used to go abroad to all parts of the world for the purposes of trade, travel, or on political business. The present day bugbear of loss one's character and faith through traveling abroad is simply due to the false teachings of the ignorant people. Let all good men remember that good conduct consists only in the avoidance of untruthfulness, injustice, inordinate affection or hatred, and other evil habits. and in the practice of love and kindness towards all, in the cultivation of gentle disposition, and in the promotion of public good, etc., let them also understand that religion has reference to one's soul and good life. When we live righteous lives, foreign travel can do us no harm. These hypocrites, the so called priests and other religious teachers, perfectly understand that if they educate the people and let them travel abroad, they would get enlightened and consequently would no longer be ensnared in net of fraud and hypocrisy spread by them. They would thus lose their livelihood and respect. This is the reason that they make so much fuss in the matter of eating and drinking. Their object is to prevent people from going abroad. It is quite true, though, that not even by mistake should they ever eat meat or drink wine. The causes of foreign rule in India are mutual feud, differences in religion, want of purity in life, lack of education, child marriage, marriage in which the contracting parties have no voice in the selection of their life partners, indulgence in carnal gratification, untruthfulness, and other evil habits, the neglect of the study of the Veda and other malpractices. It is only when brothers fight among themselves that an outsider possesses as an arbiter. Have you people even forgotten the practices that were in vogue at the time of the Mahabharata war, a little over 5,000 years ago? In the war, they, the soldiers, ate and drank even while riding. Mutual feud ruined the Kauravas, the Pandavas, and the Yadavas in the past. The same fatal disease is still clinging us to us. None knows whether this dreadful fraud will ever leave us or rob us of all our happiness and plunge us in the depths of misery. The Aryans are still treading the wicked path of the disciple law of Lo Duryodhana, the destroyer of his race and enemy of his country. May God, through his mercy, rid us, Aryas, of this dreadful disease. People should abstain from flesh diet and intoxicants such as wine, ganja, cannabis, and opium, etc. Let them never use those articles that are prejudicial to the growth of the intellect. They should also avoid the use of all those articles of food that are decomposed, fermented, unclean, or foul smelling, etc., and those that are not properly cooked, as well as those prepared and handled by such men as live on flesh diet and intoxicating drinks whose very bodies are saturated with the fine particles of meat and alcohol. The Aryas should neither themselves kill such useful animals as cows, not let others do the same. Buffalo's milk is not so useful in promoting the growth of the intellect as a cow's. Therefore, it is that the Aryas have always regarded the cow as the most useful animal. Other enlightened people should do the same. When the Aryas were in power, these most useful animals were never allowed to be killed. Consequently, men and other living beings lived in great peace and happiness. Because of milk, butter, and such animals as bullocks being plentiful, there was abundance of food and drink as milk, etc. But since the meat eating and wine drinking foreigners, the slayers of kind and other animals, have come into this country and become the ruling power, the troubles and sufferings of the Aryas have ever been on the increase, because it is said, how can you get fruits and flowers of a tree when its root is cut off? The use of all such food and drinks as are obtained through injuring or killing others or through theft, dishonesty, breach of faith, fraud, or hypocrisy is forbidden. In other words, they all come under the heading of forbidden articles of diet, while the acquisition of foods and drinks through righteous means without injuring or killing any living creature falls in the category of permissible articles of diet. Question: is there any harm in eating together, that is, out of the same dish? Answer: yes. It is harmful because people differ in their nature and constitutions, etc., from each other. Just as one is eating out of the same dish with a leper is apt to catch disease. Likewise, eating with other people is always liable to produce evil results. It can never do any good. Therefore, it is said in the Manusmriti, let no man give the leaving of his food to another, nor eat out of the same dish with another, nor eat too much, nor after finishing his meal leave his seat without washing his hands and rinsing out his mouth. Manusmriti. Continue.